Hey guys, Big Weir, roadrooter.com, coming to you from the greenhouse. It's early morning, so the lighting is all crazy. Sun's out in California. What else is out in California? There it is, Clif High's latest cryptocurrency / metals report. I think there's a little real estate in there as well. It's called Crypto Crocodiles. And what he's referring to in that title is something he's talked about quite a bit lately, and it's got to do with the volatility in the cryptocurrencies, and we're seeing it already. That's exactly what it's going to be like all summer, except it's going to go on an upward trend for most of the cryptos, not all of them. And then some will go like this, bomp, gone. See you later. If it's a bad crypto, there's a lot of bad cryptos out there. Crypto crap, I'll call it. And you want to stay away from those, but there's good ones out there too, and buy into those. Yeah, it's really exciting. In this report, Clif talks about not necessarily price as much, talks about a lot of new cryptos that are coming on the scene over the summer, and things are in the works. Crypto ICOs, crypto everything. It's a crypto summer. And as the hedge funds and the big financial people learn about the cryptos, they'll start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Remember that, Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you want to know what to be in and you have no idea about the cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin is the next money. It's the next means of exchange. It's the next store of wealth, along with gold and silver. But the more you think about it, the more you think gold and silver aren't that useful as money. Store of value, yeah. But useful as money in daily transactions, nobody has any, first of all. So returning to a gold and silver metal standard where people walk into a bank, it would take some allocation from people who have it and who has gold and silver. I think the governments, the U.S. government especially, has a lot of gold, and they can redistribute it. And that was part of the plan originally with Ruta. When you see her going into the bank with a stack of bills and a stack of gold coins in the Banking Basics comic book from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. That was part of the idea, but there was no cryptocurrency around then. It is clear to me that the government, the U.S. government, is going to adopt some form of official use of Bitcoin and some of the cryptos. Yeah, it's clear to me because they're not making any laws against it, and I know that they've been struggling with this exact thing for decades. How do you return to a sane monetary system from the screwed up one that you have right now? That's what the Road to Root is all about. That's why Alan Greenspan implemented the computer programs in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Is that everybody's afraid of what's going to happen when the old system crashes. And now we have the cryptocurrencies, which is really exciting because you can use them. And I think the reason there's no regulations, everybody who says, oh, the government is going to come in and destroy your wealth. No. There's people within the government, the good guys as I call them, who have control and charge now, who are going to help us through this transition. And the cryptocurrencies are a great way to do it. Transition to what? I don't know. Maybe a cashless society, but not the kind that the bad guys want, where they control the lack of cash. Bitcoin doesn't have a controller. And I know everybody says, oh, well, that's the government wants to take control. No. We have a constitution. We have a situation where we're taking down the bad guys who want to control us. And we're putting in something good and sound and right for the people. And it promotes liberty. And that's exactly what's happening. If you don't see it now, just open your eyes. You know, Trump wouldn't be where he is right now if there wasn't somebody else in charge these days. So keep an eye open and go to Clif's site, and if you have $99, buy the Crypto Crocodile report. His site is halfpasthuman.com, and he goes through some of the new ones, some of the old ones, where he thinks it's going to go as it shakes out this year. It's going to be a crazy year for cryptos, a crazy summer. So you want to be involved, you want to understand it. Open up a Coinbase account. I know Coinbase sucks. They shut down when things get busy, but they're the best out there. Everybody has their preferences. Coinbase, when it's working well, is easy to use, and you link it to your bank account. You can buy and sell cryptocurrencies all you want. I don't recommend selling unless you need the money or trying to play the trader game. Get yourself some Bitcoin, get yourself some Ethereum, and sit and watch the fireworks. Because there's going to be fireworks. There's going to be crocodile teeth all summer in the markets. Boom, 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 boom. As far as the stock market and all that, take your pick, take your guess. It hasn't been freely traded since the 1960s, so what would a freely traded market even look like in the U.S. stock market? I don't even know. Nobody knows. Clearly it won't be where it is. I do expect the banks to freeze up very soon. And freeze up, I mean one of the big banks goes down. The derivatives are already triggered in Europe, so that usually takes about a month to work through. And then we'll get into July, August, September, October. It's going to get ugly out there, and it's going to be crazy, and central banks are going to flood the system most likely with money. So it's kind of hard to short the market when the currencies are depreciating like you wouldn't believe. But at some point, gold and silver will shine, and at that point, we'll get to decide again what we want to use as money, because it won't be the unbacked fiat money, because when the banks go down, everything goes down. It's all gone. All the dark pools of money will be gone too. And that's what we need to get rid of. All the wealth accumulated by the 1%, half of 1%, 1% of 1% over the last 100 years needs to go away. And that can be done very easily with a crashing of one of these too big to fail banks, because if one goes down, they all go down. When they all go down, all the electronic unbacked fiat money will disappear. And then we get to go to something new. I think Bitcoin and some of the cryptos will be there for use of the people. It doesn't have to be mandated by the government at all. The government doesn't even matter. If the government passes any laws, which I don't think they will, because the good guys are back in charge of the government, but if they ever did, it wouldn't matter. They can't pass a global law. And those days are long gone where the bad guys control everything. Every country's going to decide for themselves what they want to do. The countries that embrace Bitcoin, embrace Ethereum, are going to do very well. Putin had Vitalik Buterin, the guy who invented Ethereum, out. I think he was in Russia. He met with Putin. That's how important this thing is. Russia would be smart to go on to the cryptos. Use Bitcoin. Use Ethereum. Whoever does that, whatever country does that, is going to be the strongest country in the world. So, yeah, go for it. I think the U.S. is planning to do it. As a matter of fact, I think the U.S. was highly involved in the invention of Bitcoin. As I've said many times, I do think that Alan Greenspan, if he wasn't the man, the actual Satoshi Nakamoto who invented Bitcoin, he was definitely involved in it. Remember when it came out, the end of 2009. When did Greenspan leave office? In 2007. So he had a couple of years to work on, think about the cryptocurrencies, and he came up with an amazing thing. I think. I might be wrong. I'm not 100% sure at all. But I do know Alan Greenspan was one of the world's premier computer programmers since the 1960s. It's the only reason he was the head of the Fed. And that's where he got his fame, obviously. But he was also the Council of Economic Advisors for Gerald Ford, and he was behind the scenes rigging the markets the whole time. So him and this guy, Stephen DeVoe, another computer programmer coming out of the Fed Boston. Go to the road to look at the work. It's all there. Anything you want to know about how we got to where we are. So yes, I do think Alan Greenspan was involved because he was a monetary expert. He was a computer expert at the time Bitcoin was invented. And Greenspan had always looked for a way out of the old system, crash the old system. That's what the road to Ruta is, crashing the old system and going on to something new. Give the bankers enough rope to hang themselves, and that's what he did. And then he crashed the system. Every single stock market crash since probably the crash in the late 70s, early 80s, but definitely the crash of 87 was orchestrated by Alan Greenspan. If you read any articles on, looking back, what caused the crash, it was all computer programs. And then the crash of 2001, obviously computer related, but it was the computer trading programs that went wonky. Same with 2008, computer trading programs. Bang, bang, bang. It's all the computers, and it just needs to be big enough. And now with all the derivatives, all the sovereign debt, it's big enough. It's big enough to crash the system. So I think that's what they'll be doing very soon. If you go to the Economist magazine of 1988, they say they're going to crash the system in 2018. Will it happen in 2018? Well, that's clearly what the bad guys want. Good guys would be fine with that too, I believe. Why not? It's not about, who crashes the system. It's about what you turn to after that. Do you turn to the bad guys and the bankers and the BIS and the World Bank to solve your problems? Or do you say, no, we have cryptocurrencies, we got gold and silver. The United States has a constitution, we have constitutional money. Congress is supposed to regulate that money. Get on it, Congress, and we can start fresh. We don't need foreigners to tell us what to do. So, anyway, buy. Get Clif's report, even if you want to learn about the cryptos. $99, you can't beat it. You need to be knowledgeable about everything going forward. And yes, the days of sitting at home, getting back from work, cracking a beer and relaxing at home are over. You got to learn. You got to change. You got to adapt. Otherwise, you're going to be left in the dust. And I don't want to see anybody left in the dust. The opportunity is unbelievable out there for anybody who's got the power and will to learn. Just turn on a computer, go to YouTube. You can learn about any cryptocurrency. Everybody who sends me questions about cryptocurrencies, I say, hey, here's a YouTube. Do a YouTube search on whatever your question is. All the answers are there. And that's how I learned. Well, you guys, you need to get off the couch, put the beer down. I know it's hard. Put the beer down and go and learn about the cryptos, because they're going to be in your life more and more over the coming days, weeks, months, years, decades. I would say even centuries, since Clif's data has Bitcoin and Ethereum going out centuries. So imagine the price of those by then. Anyway, this is Big Weir, roadtoroota.com. Thank you for listening to this video, and don't forget to thumbs up it and subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you later.